Renee Box Young, what's going on? So Ryan Garcia lashes back at Oscar and Bernard Hopkins. Wow. In this final press conference in the lead up to the whole Ryan Garcia versus Oscar Duarte fight, man, it was Ryan Garcia's turn to speak on that stage or what have you in front of the microphone, and he just said, I got a couple things. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but got a couple things I want to say, and bam, he just started. He just started going off on, I think everybody heard it by now. Going off on what Bernard Hopkins said in whatever interview it was, whenever he did it, right? Bernard Hopkins saying something along the lines of he'll decide what Ryan Garcia will do next, or if he'll keep fighting next, or whatever, right? And Ryan Garcia, definitely answering, responding to that in public. This is crazy, man. I didn't expect this. Definitely didn't expect this. And I laugh because big ups to Ryan Garcia for responding to Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins. There's obviously there are many ways to look at this. Some people may be saying, well, they should fix their beef behind closed doors and whatever. We got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this goes way back. Remember back when around 2019, 2018, approximately, Ryan Garcia, I think at that time he was in Canelo's camp, training and stuff like that. It's when they were, training together and stuff. Ryan Garcia started, also saying some things on social media or whatever he was saying about Oscar. He was disgruntled, he wasn't happy. There was things going on, and some time, passed, and, Oscar De La Hoya presented to Ryan a contract extension, and they were happy about it. I think they were taking pictures together and stuff like that. It seems like the beef was squashed back in 2019 when Ryan Garcia extended the contract. Now there are people, these reporters or what have you, are asking Ryan Garcia how long is he a Golden Boy for. If I remember correctly, the contract when Ryan Garcia extended it was around 5 years. If I'm not mistaken. So 2024 is around the corner. So apparently Ryan Garcia is not going to be at Golden Boy much longer, but we'll see. I'm sure there's some conditions to that contract. So, but I'm trying to say this, this stuff goes way back, and then all of a sudden, as of late, it seems like it reignited when Gervonta Tank Davis beat Ryan Garcia, and in the post-fight presser, Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins were nowhere to be found, which was horrible. There was no excuse, in my humble opinion. Oscar De La Hoya tried to come out and save face, afterwards, saying that, his life was threatened. And, I think that's hogwash, man. I think that's hogwash. I think that's where this whole thing reignited of Ryan Garcia's, not trusting in Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, because they turned their back on him, per se, in that post fight. They just left him alone, man. They left him all by himself. And it's like, wow, and I think since then, Ryan Garcia hasn't been really, and then obviously after that, Oscar De La Hoya, going back and forth with Ryan Garcia on Twitter. And it just seems like, and after this press conference, obviously the reporters, asking these questions, hey, what do you think about what Ryan Garcia said, asking Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar De La Hoya is saying, like, well, he's thinking like a kid. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. He's thinking like a kid, He also threw it at Oscar, in the press conference there, saying that, and this goes to, Oscar saying that I'm misinterpreting things, and, there was no misinterpretation in that, it was in plain English. I understood the message, and obviously Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, before Ryan took the stage, if I'm not mistaken, said something and looked, stone cold faced at Ryan Garcia. It's like, geez Louise, I just hope the best for all these guys, what I'm saying? And I think it's really bad. How Ryan Garcia's superiors, I think I just mentioned this in another video I posted recently, Ryan Garcia's superiors, how they are, how they are reacting to Ryan Garcia in all this. Even though Ryan Garcia has vented on social media throughout these months, and all these things that I'm talking about, Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, they should have just shut up, just be quiet, and handle things behind closed doors. Contact Ryan and sit down and just talk about it, and as opposed to going back and forth. Because this expression that Oscar De La Hoya made when Ryan Garcia was there on on stage and in front of the mic talking, saying those things. Oscar De La Hoya was like, what? Huh? Yeah. And like shaking his head. And it's like, gosh, this looks bad, you know. Ryan, now, obviously, y'all know about the whole lawsuit thing that they tried to lift up against each other or whatever happened there months ago. I don't know if that's still in effect. I don't know if that's still active. But I don't know. I just think Ryan Garcia's best bet is to leave Golden Boy. Freaking leave. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? I said the same thing about, Demetrius Andrade in my post-fight reaction, concerning, his performance or whatever, what he should do next after the Benavidez fight. And I talked about how, Demetrius Andrade, he extended the contract, with Matchroom, and he just kept getting mediocre fights. Ryan Garcia, like I said, I can say the same thing, but it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's already over. He already re-signed, or he extended the contract years ago, so he just has to deal with it. He has to suck it up and deal with it, unless that, lawsuit, whatever he did, is still in effect and they win the case or whatever's going on there. I really don't know, but I just hope Ryan Garcia leaves Golden Boy. He has to leave, and whenever that contract's up, he'll be amazing. He'll be amazing as a free agent. He'll be just fantastic. And one thing I got to finish this, man. I got to finish with this. I respect. I've said it in social media and stuff lately that Ryan Garcia definitely looks like he's changed. He's matured. He himself has admitted it. And this is why I criticized Ryan Garcia years ago. And for years, I would criticize him because you can just see he wasn't taking things seriously. He himself admitted it recently. He started admitting it, that now he's really focused. And I think that's awesome because Canelo himself even said it, about Ryan Garcia not being focused. It was quite obvious. Now I see a change in him. Now I see he's maturing, and that's nothing but big ups to him. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely gave his props, to Ryan Garcia ever since he fought Tank Davis. Like, all right, he finally stood up to Tank Davis and fought him. My respect, because he was calling him out for so long, and he actually did it. And he's taken this L, and he's maturing. He's maturing off of it, and I think that's awesome, and I think. He'll do way better, after Golden Boy. So we'll see how long he'll be under Golden Boy. And I hope that this whole beef between them all, it just calms down, man. I hope they just deal with things professionally from now on, from here on out. And Ryan Garcia should just go do an exhibition fight with Hopkins and shut him up. No, I'm just kidding. Or do it with Oscar De La Hoya. Go do an exhibition and shut him up. No, I'm joking, man. I'm joking. But what do you guys think, Ryan Garcia should do at this time? We really got to keep fighting anyway. So, under Golden Boy until it's up. So what do you think about this whole thing, man? Go ahead and comment section. Renee Box up. Peace.